going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in reference to a terroristic threat. The officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated he argued with the defendant, his girlfriend, over the defendant video chatting with a male acquaintance, naked and masturbating. The complainant woke up to the defendant again, naked and masturbating to the same male, and asked the defendant if she wanted to have sex. The defendant said no and began to argue with the complainant for asking too much. The defendant stated she would hurt herself, punch the complainant, then call the officer if he were to call the officer first. The complainant drove the defendant to a gas station, dropped her off, and later received a message on social media from the defendant with a picture of the license plate, a picture of the complainant, and a message that the complainant better lock his door and my homie lives nearby, he's gonna pick me up. The officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated she did not make any threats, and the complainant made domestic threats against her. The defendant consented to search of her phone, and the officer located the messages to the complainant, stating to lock his doors and images of the complainant's face and license plate.
What is the threat? Sends a picture of a license plate
and of his face saying he better lock his door, and then the message that her homie lives nearby, and then she had previously stated that she would punch the complainant.
which is the, I mean,
I'll see how it was pled, Your Honor.
says here that heretofore on or about October 25th, threatened to commit an offense involving violence, namely an assault upon a person with the intent to place complainant in imminent serious bodily injury. It has to be on October 25th. Look at October 25th. What happened on that day?
Yes, Your Honor. On that day, all that we have is that prior to being dropped off the gas station, she told the complainant that she would punch him. And then he dropped her off at the gas station, and then she sent him the pictures of himself, his license plate, and said he better lock his door.
And your doesn't work like that. You can't
Yes,
just piggyback. There's
Yes,
no
Judge.
bootstrapping. It's,
I believe
I would
it.
argue that the punching, telling him that she's going to punch him in the face would have been the terrorist.
when was that?
It was the same day on October 25th.
Yes. So they got into an argument at the house, and then he was driving her to the gas station. And I think during the drive, she said that she was going to punch him in the face.
And then that's when he dropped her off, and then he later got the messages. But there was that initial threat of being punched.
Right.
It says that in the OR that
In the DMs that the complainant stated that she would, or the defendant stated she would punch him. Yes, that's what was stated in the DMs. That's the threat of violence in the DMs that we have.
Ms. Johnson, I'm going to find probable cause for now. Do you have a lawyer? Okay, what do you do with yourself these days? Are you working?
I'm from Ohio. I was just here visiting a friend and he wanted more.
Let's do this. I'm going to pull it over today so that you guys can talk and figure out what the dynamic is, because maybe there's more to it that I'm not seeing. For now, I'm going to order you not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. I'm going to get you a lawyer. You guys talk about this, and then we'll see where it goes. Okay. So for now, I'm going to have you sign a wreath of Victoria. I'll just have you take a seat momentarily in the jury box. I'll have you speak to someone here momentarily, and then we'll go forward. Okay.
Thank you.
Please, ma'am. Are you Abraham Romero?
Sir.
Mr. Romero, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes. On October 27th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a minor accident in Harris County, Texas. The accident was a single vehicle accident running over a fence, and upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle to be running and on, saw smoke coming from the hood of the vehicle, and observed damage to a metal fence of the property. Upon contact with the defendant, who was the sole occupant and driver of the motor vehicle, the officer observed the defendant to have slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and noticed him to be unsteady on his feet and having a hard time maintaining balance. The officer also observed Corona bottles in plain view on the front passenger floorboard. The defendant admitted to drinking and to being drunk. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6. One leg stand and walk and turn could not be completed due to safety concerns. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.193 and 0.191.
Run his inside, see if he has any prior DWIs, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Romero, is it Romero or Romero
Yes, sir.
with an O?
Yes, sir.
We need to do the name change, please. It should be Romero, not Romero. I've never met a Romero. Mr. Romero, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Sir.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Sir.
You have car insurance.
Sir.
I'm ordering you, can you run his license also, Alex?
Yes, Your Honor. And no prior DWIs.
No, okay. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bombs. What do you do for a living, Mr. Romero?
I work at IO Bush, sir. The airport of Bush,
Okay, doing what?
a warehouse agent,
How much money do you make a month?
$15 an hour.
Who do you live with?
My parents.
We're going to give you time to hire a lawyer. You need to get on it quick. There's a lot of timing requirements with the DWIs. Don't sit and wait a month or two because you're only hurting yourself. You need to get on it quick. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We're going to get you out of here to hire a lawyer. After that, you'll meet with Felicia for your bond conditions. And then after that, you'll be free to go.
Sure.
Beware. Don't use alcohol. Don't use any illegal drugs. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, buddy. Please.
Your Honor, there were no records found for the driver's license of this defendant in our system. So
Do you have a Texas driver license?
Shelby, come on up.
Okay.
Page 13 and 14, Shelby.
Are you Tariq Shafi?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shafi, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the gun case, you're facing up to a year and or a $4,000 fine. On your DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
on October 26, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a possible DWI with a follower. Upon arrival, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle due to a reasonable suspicion of driving while intoxicated on West M. Houston Tollway in Harris County, Texas. The follower observed the defendant's motor vehicle swerving in and out of its lanes on the ramp to West M. Houston Tollway and while on the main lines, as well as strike an unknown passing motor vehicle. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, red bloodshot eyes, and saw the defendant swaying while standing and walking. The defendant admitted to drinking and to having a holstered firearm, a Glock 22 on his right hip. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.084 and 0.085. No, Your Honor.
License?
Eligible, Your Honor.
Mr. Shafi, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. We're going to randomly test you. For find that you're using alcohol or any illegal drugs, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? You speak English, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Don't wait on your lawyer search. Get on it quick. There's a lot of timing
My
requirements.
lawyer didn't show up yet. I hired them yesterday.
Who?
Dunham and Jones. And some attorney named Darrell was supposed to be here.
I don't see anything filed. We can wait a little bit. A lot of times they go to a bunch of other courts. I know that they're very busy. So, I mean, eventually they'll get here. Just be patient. We'll have you sign all the documents. That way you're ready with that. And then we'll just wait for them to get here. So if you'd be so kind, just to wait in the pew over there, we'll wait. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, please.
Yes, driving, Judge.
Sorry?
Driving.
Yeah, he has a license.